Hey guys, I've been debating on whether or not to make this video. I'm making the video. I don't know if I'm going to upload it. If this goes up, if you guys see it, I decided to upload it for whatever reason. But this has been bothering me for a while. It's completely scarred everyone. And I wanted to take this time to talk about the past and everything that's happened. So, about a month ago now, I made a video titled I'm Sorry, and uploaded it, and I don't know what I was expecting. Admittedly, I might have actually kind of been expecting support or something like that. To be honest, I probably was. Correction, most likely it was, knowing myself. But I got a lot, and I mean a lot of hate from people on that video. And we're talking like at the point where nobody said it. Don't get me wrong, nobody actually said it. But there are certain people, I'm not going to name anyone, because I'm not going to do anything like that. So let's get a couple disclaimers out of the way first. First off, I won't be saying any names whatsoever. No, on either side. I won't be saying people on my side, people on the other side. I won't be saying any names. Second off, I make this video knowing and probably even expecting to get a ton of hate on it, a ton of attacks. Which is why I'm debating on whether or not to upload it, because I'm done. I want to move on from the past. I want to become better. I want to move on. And that's, I guess, partly why I'm making this video, is so I can do that. And whatnot. So I've been debating on making this video for 2 weeks because of that. I kept talking myself out of it because I didn't want to deal with the hate. I did not want to. I wanted to move on. I wanted everybody to just forget it. I wanted it to be done, over and done. But this keeps scarring me. This keeps attacking me in my mind, and I feel like I need to say something, because it has been eating me up for the last 2 weeks now. So this might be a long video. So back to what I was saying earlier. Nobody said anything like this. I wanted to get that out of the way. Nobody has said anything like this. So what I'm about to say is entirely on me. Nobody's actually said anything. Nobody's really even suggested that this is a thing. It's just, except from how fierce the hate was and how strong the attacks were, that's really the only indication that I'm having from this. So I want to make that clear that this is not, nobody has said this, but I personally feel like there are certain people out there who full on want me dead and would downright celebrate if I committed suicide, like right now. I won't say like who, I won't say anything like that. And nothing like that has ever been said, but just with the level of intensity, I feel like that might be the case. And I don't know, it kind of works as a segue into part of this, and that's the fact that this is something that runs in my family, unfortunately, at least on my mom's side, where we see a situation. My mom has been trying to fix it. She says that she doesn't have this issue anymore. From my point of view, she still does it sometimes. I've never really paid too much attention to it, but she definitely still does it at times. But it runs in the family, unfortunately, where we see a situation and it's like a little tiny thing, and we blow it up into freaking Mount Everest, practically. As my mom puts it, it's taking like a little seed and turning it into Mount Everest. So for all I know, by saying that people would downright celebrate if I committed suicide, it's another one of those situations where I'm just impulsively making something like 10 times bigger than it is. I don't know. Give me a minute. Sorry, my grandma was bothering me with days and whatnot, and so, what was I was saying? I was talking about how I tend to exponentially to take something and blow it up. And that tends to happen quite a bit. That is what I think might have happened with December and July, when I just exploded and started screaming at people. I do want to say, before I say what I'm about to say, that seriously, the person who I was before was a horrendous monster and a freak, and I truly regret a lot of the things I did. I destroyed people's lives. Let me phrase it this way. If I never joined the Warriors fandom, none of this would have happened. None of these attacks, none of this would have happened. And I wouldn't have lost my shit. There's a couple things I want to say. First off, I do want to say that I am really, really sorry for who I was before, and that I've been telling the truth every time. I've never not told the truth about this, that I am trying to change, that I am trying to become a better person. I'm trying. I'm probably failing, admittedly, or have been failing, but I've been making sure ever since early January, I've been trying my best to rephrase things to make them sound like you don't have to do that thing, obviously. I've been trying my hardest to do that, because that was one of the issues, was that I told, I don't even remember exactly what I said. I might have phrased it like a suggestion, I don't know. But I told Lia that she had to stop talking to Jordan back in early January. And since then, I've been trying my hardest to not demand things of people like that. And I feel like I've been doing okay. I've also been trying to control myself more when it comes to getting really angry. And at least publicly, I've been trying to control myself publicly when it comes to getting really angry. Though, personally, I feel like you should be able to, if you're really mad about something, you should be able to trust your friends. And, I told someone about something and that I was really angry, and I admitted to them that I was tempted to make some public attack against them, but I wasn't going to because I was trying to control myself. I was trying to be a better person. But I admitted to them that I was really angry and that I was tempted to do it, although I wouldn't do it. I made that clear that I wouldn't do it. And they blew up. They completely blew up at me. And that's what caused the I'm sorry video. That's what... everything just exploded, and I got a ton of hate anyway. So it's like whenever I try to control myself, even privately, if I attempt to admit something to a friend of mine, it completely blows up. At least for a while it was like that. And now that I have Adri, I've been talking to her a lot, and she hasn't done anything like that, thankfully. And yeah, so that's kind of part of it. So I am truly sorry for what has happened. Though at this point, I do have to say that if you still refuse to believe that I am trying my best to change, I left Twitter. I left being active on Twitter. I'm only there for official reasons now, and deleted all my tweets because I can't. Twitter is pretty much what started this. The drama. It started with the drama back in March, which I talked about on my old channel, Blue Emerald, as it was happening. I got more and more depressed as time went on. Fell in love, got rejected, all that mess happened. Crashed. I crashed and burned. And the thing is that I suffer from serious, twice now. The first time was back in middle school, and I think I've mentioned that a couple times. Second time was actually the day I blew up in December. Twice now I've actually attempted suicide. And I have a history, and I'm going through right now severe depression, severe clinical depression, is what I'm trying to fight through. I'm taking pills, antidepressants. I'm tried to talk to someone. I was supposed to talk to them yesterday, but little off track rant here. But if you own like a complex of buildings, first off, you should place a sign somewhere listing all the businesses there. Second off, you should make it obvious that the fucking upstairs isn't private. Third off, you should have some sign somewhere saying where to go upstairs. Finally, you should have a sign outside of the goddamn building saying what you are. And this rant was triggered because my grandma and I spent 30 minutes driving around one building trying to find where we were supposed to be, only to find out it was upstairs in what I thought was private housing, and the only sign for it was inside the building. So, little off track rant there. But that's the story of why I wasn't able to talk to them yesterday. So it's another 2 weeks before I can talk to them. Anyway, to what I've been trying to say this whole time, if you truly, like, if you tell me, even now, like, if you still tell me now that I'm not trying to change, that I'm not trying to do something, even after saying I'm taking antidepressants, even after I'm trying to talk to someone for a second time, basically fuck you at this point. If you're saying that I'm not trying to change, that's bullshit, because I have been trying to change this whole time. I am trying to change, and I'm sick and tired of hearing that. So that's the point I've come to. I'm sick and tired of it. So people are saying that the first person I stopped talking to her. People are saying I stopped talking to her because, or at least one person has said this, because he told me I shouldn't be in a relationship and I freaked out and left. That's not at all what happened. First off, a couple things to understand. First off, the first person that you talk to, if you have depression, the first person that you talk to, the first therapist that you talk to, isn't necessarily going to be the one that works for you. And second off, she never told me, she never said once that I shouldn't be in a relationship at all. She said, she didn't, the reason why I stopped talking to her is because, at least to me, I don't know how she is with her other patients. She might be really good with her other patients. But at least to me, she was judgmental of Lia, saying that she was not, she was basically saying like she wasn't a good person and was saying all this bad stuff about Lia, who at the time I loved deeply. And I still love her platonically. But at the time I loved Lia romantically, and she was saying all this stuff about Lia and I couldn't take it anymore. That's the big reason. The other reason is because I had this really bad enemy for a while, named Daniel, and I've talked about him on my Twitter before. I've deleted the tweets, but basically, me and him were very close in middle school, and then we had a fallout, which I'm not going to go too far into. The day before Chester Bennington hung himself, which was July 20th, so July 19th, Daniel Fetner got run over and killed by a drunk driver. And even though he was one of my worst enemies, probably my single worst enemy at the time, I'm still devastated by it, because I never wanted him dead. I never wished that upon him. And as I've come to find out relatively recently, it seems like he was actually on the way to becoming a much better person. He was going to a Christian school, which was admittedly a much better place for him. And it's still devastating me because of that connection we had in middle school. So it's still really devastating me when I found out. And my counselor could not understand for the life of her why it devastated me. She was like, you shouldn't be feeling this way. Why are you feeling this way? He was not a good friend. Why are you feeling this way? It shouldn't devastate you this much. And that was the other reason why I left. Again, the first reason was not because he was telling me not to be in a relationship. It was because he was pretty much talking trash about Lia. And I was not going to put up with that. So that's why that didn't work. Admittedly, not trying to find another person immediately was a mistake. And actually going off my antidepressants in about 2014 or 2015 was also a mistake. Because if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been so depressed. And that's kind of why that's my main theory behind why I was like so vicious, because I was so heartbroken. I was grieving for that whole relationship loss. I was like so depressed and sad on top of all that. And I couldn't take it anymore. I was stressed out and just snapped at everyone over and over again. And I was manipulative. I did some horrible things. This video is almost 20 minutes long. You guys, I hope you guys have popcorn, because fuck. I did some horrible fucking things. I was never really abusive, per se. People saying who I was abusive, that part isn't exactly true, but I was very much manipulative. I was very much manipulative. I never intended to be manipulative. It was all a big accident. But I would feel like if somebody said no, I couldn't take it. And that's the thing. I've never really been able to handle no too well. which is a serious fucking problem. And I've been doing better at it over the years. Kind of lost my shit last year. I'm trying to do better this year. So far this month, I think I've been doing okay about it. But I would feel like, I would actually feel this way. Like, when I got rejected, I actually felt, and it wasn't even a big thing. It was a rejection over, I don't know if I really want to go into the details about it. But it was a rejection about, we'll say, like, a more, like, intimate type of thing, I got rejected about. And, even though, and I don't know why I was like this, I don't know what caused me to be this insane when it came to that. Probably because I wanted to find a way to just escape the pain, and I knew, oh hey, this feels good, this doesn't feel good. The thing that feels good, I should have as much as I possibly can. So I was completely devastated, and I was like, I was saying like how horrible I felt, and I wound up guilting, and just doing stuff like that. I wound up guilting people into doing stuff and manipulating them into doing stuff when I never really intended to, and I really regret ever doing that. I really regret ever being such a horrendous person as I was. And I have Adri now, and I honestly have to thank Adri, because now having had someone, having someone who I love, like Adri, has really made me a lot happier as a person. I'm still horrendously depressed. Like, making this video, when I started this video, talking about it, taking this off my chest has honestly felt kind of relieving of sorts. But when I was starting this video, I was like 2,000 pounds on my chest, like so fucking depressed and sad, and I've been like that all week. And it has been horrendous, and that is the thing. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm tired of the scars. I'm tired of this haunting me. I'm tired of this haunting my friends. I'm tired of this being a thing. That's pretty much all I was able to say. That's pretty much all I was able to say that I am necessarily willing to say publicly. But I really needed to talk about this, and I want to move on. That's the thing. I'm making this video with the full knowledge that I could get a shit ton of hate on this. I could get a shit ton of hate. I could even probably have someone wind up trying to get me arrested or some shit. I'm kind of half expecting that in my mind. Again, that's probably me just wildly blowing it up again. But, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I had to get it off my chest. I had to say something. I don't know if this video is going to go up. I think it will. I don't want any hate. I don't want any more attacks. I don't want any of this. I know, though, okay, so there's a lot of people, several people who have said that I'm trying to play the victim here, and I'm trying to blame everyone else for my problems. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I do realize that yes, I was a horrendous person, I was manipulative, I was a bad person, and I do probably deserve some of this. But at the same time, I'm sick and tired of it. I need people to know where I'm coming from. I need people to know that this is happening, where I'm coming from. And people saying that they're just treating me the way I treated them. A couple times, yes, I might have done wild shit like that. But I really, truly believe that it has reached a point where the hate is no longer necessary. There's no more reason for this. And I know there's nothing has happened since my I'm sorry video. Nothing has really happened since then. But the scars are still there. The scars of this are still there. And I do want people who are saying that to understand that yes, I did horrible things, and I guess in a way it is karma. But at the same time, you shouldn't, first off, you shouldn't, make things public. You shouldn't make a private situation public. And that's what seems to happen a lot. Is from what I've seen, there's like this private situation, and then everybody just immediately jumps on it, makes it wildly public, and everything explodes. That's the thing. Yes, you make a mistake. Yes, you can call them out on it, and you can say you can be a pile of crap to them. Don't be a pile of crap to them. That's the second thing, by the way. If somebody's being a dick, don't be a dick back. Unless they're... Okay, you can be a dick back for the meantime. I don't know how to phrase this. If they're being a piece of shit to you, and if you don't know them, first off, ignore it. There's no need, just ignore it. Second off, if they are a friend of yours, pretty much tell them, hey, stop, you're being a dick. And if they keep going, ignore them, block them even, maybe. But don't, don't make a private situation public, and that's what I have seen a lot. And everything blows way out of proportion. That's what kept happening over and over again. Is that this entire situation, in the end, should have just been between a few of us. Instead, it suddenly became everyone's business, because I admit I probably was part of this too. But everybody kept making things public and kept blowing things wildly out of proportion, and it just snowballed. Over and over again, this happened. This video is 30 minutes long. Oh, fuck. It just kept going. And that's the thing. That can't happen. That's what pisses me off. People can be... And don't be a pile of shit. If somebody is saying sorry, if somebody's really trying to change, if somebody is really depressed like this, I don't care if you don't forgive them, but if you don't forgive them, don't forgive them, either completely ignore them, or you tell them that what they're doing isn't enough, and this is what you need to do. These are the problems and don't tell them, don't be rude about it. Tell them like, hey, you're being manipulative, you need to stop that, and whatnot. You need to be firm about it, but not downright rude about it, if you know what I mean. Not only have people been downright rude about it, they've been literally attacking me for no reason. Like, some people have literally just gone out of their way to attack me when it didn't even involve them at all. Don't be rude about it, first off. Second off, don't be an absolute dick. And just, that's what I'm sick and tired of. If somebody's being a dick, you don't, you ignore them, you block them, you do all this stuff. You don't full on be a dick back. You don't go insane and start attacking them wildly. And letting them, pretty much denying everything they say, period, just blindly, and attacking them for every little thing they say. That makes you no worse than the other person. That makes you no better than the other person. In fact, if anything, that probably makes you even worse, depending on the situation, obviously. I have been doing my best to change since January, and that is the problem. That's why I, quote, act like the victim, because I ran out of space in my camera. As I was saying, that's why I've been, quote, acting like the victim, because I'm doing my absolute hardest to change, and people do not seem to respect that. I might be failing. There's probably stuff that I'm not doing. There's probably stuff that I don't realize about, like problems I have that I don't even know about. But I am and have been trying to change. And when people keep attacking you wildly after you say that you're trying to change, after you give them proof that you're trying to change, that's when things are going way too far. You can't just keep wildly attacking someone who's trying to change. And that's what I'm so sick and tired of. That's why I act like the, quote, victim. Because I realize I'm not. I did a ton of bullshit. So I'm not the victim in terms of that. I know I made mistakes. But I am the victim of people continually. It hasn't happened. Again, none of this has happened recently. It's just the scars that have caused me to make this video. Again, nothing has happened recently. It's just the scars. I want to make that clear. There hasn't been any more hate since for like a month now, but the scars have affected me too much. I need to say something. Basically, that I'm not a victim of what I did. That tortures me as well. What I did, I was abusive. Well, I may have been abusive, but I don't see myself as too abusive. I was highly manipulative. I'm not the victim of that, and I understand where people are coming from. What I don't understand, and what I do feel like I have been the victim of, is people attacking me for saying that I'm sorry and for saying that I'm trying to change. That's what I feel like I am the victim of. I feel like, personally, things went way too far. And that's why I'm making this video, to explain my side of this situation. I do want to make it clear one more time before I end off this video that, again, nobody has done anything recently. The hate has not come back for a month. I don't want any more hate. The only reason why I'm making this video is because of the scars that the hate from months past have caused. They've kept taunting me. They've kept keeping me awake at night. I couldn't sleep last night. I almost cried during school today. Partially it's because of school, but partially because of all this hate, of all this, just all the scars on not just me, but everyone, all my friends. Things have gotten way too far. And that's what I am sick and tired of. The hate is over, and it's been over for a while, and I appreciate that. And I don't want it to start back up. And I know with making this video it's probably going to start back up. But that's the reason why I made this video, is because of the scars. The scars of the months past keep haunting me, they keep bugging me, they keep killing me. And I had to let it out. I had to let it out. And that's why I made this video. So again, one last time, I don't want any hate. I know full well that I could get hate for this, a lot of it. But I needed to let it out before it killed me. So yeah. From here on out, I'm just gonna stay off Twitter for good. And I'm gonna keep moving on with my album, keep moving on with that. By the way, update to my album. I have ordered the album cover for it. And we're not quite halfway done with it, but we're almost halfway done. So just a little update there. But yeah, that's why I made this video. I still don't have a proper outro. See ya.